What you see behind me is a city that left me speechless. But this city changed long before you noticed.
For the longest time, I thought change had to be for someone else. All the effort, the troubles, the long nights, all meant to be noticed and appreciated. But with time and with experience, I learned that change often goes unnoticed. Because change takes time, but our ability to recognize it takes longer. But if there was a way for 439,740 square miles of land to feel what we feel, Colombia wouldn't be alone. Unfortunately, to some people, Medellin will only be known to them as the murder capital of the world, because it once was. But I bet you didn't hear that the exact same city won multiple awards for remodeling, growth, and innovation. So this isn't to tell you the horrible history of Medellin, but rather to show you the incredible change the world seems to not notice. A beautiful view of Medellin. How did I get this shot though? Not a drone, but through this, the metro cable. Medellin's most prized asset that connects its neighborhoods and a more advanced chairlift. And it was this that started the chain of growth. You appreciate it for how they repurposed this to save on city costs, for how it opened up ways for people to find more work, for how easy it is to use. But over everything else, you appreciate how it gave a chance for the people to see their city still had hope. Speaking of which, it took its escalators outside and saved people from walking up 28 stories.
I wish LA had escalators to go up.
Here on top, what was considered Medellin's most notorious neighborhood in the area, Comuna 13, flipped its image to be known for its art and performances. And what was a place no one dared to ever speak about suddenly became open to visitors. It's unforgettable. The moment you arrive, you'll see graffiti that shows you its transformation. People who chose art over violence, who took to the streets not to kill or do drugs, but to dance and make people smile. But then I took the streets through the narrow gaps of this neighborhood to arrive in a small market where the people here go to buy food. We got a bag full of essentials and headed to a small house where a local woman lived. As shocked as I was to hear the history of this place, I couldn't help but feel so happy and so loving giving these bags of groceries to her. And it wasn't just the act of kindness, it was more of a feeling of knowing everything is okay now and things will get better. Not only for this place, but for the people who live here. Truthfully, I never experienced what it was like living here in these neighborhoods during the hard times, but I actually felt affected. Hearing the reality of what happened in the city of Medellin was unreal.
For example, when I was a teenager, I was with my friends like here, just in the street, having a conversation. A motorcycle passed by, run. It happened to me many times. So you could feel the shots close to your head. And obviously sometimes people died. Right. So for example, 4 of my friends died like that.
I simply can't comprehend how violent people can be, how much destruction our hands can produce. Today, you see smiling faces, kids playing around, art that takes over every wall you see, a sense of community that you can't ever break, no matter how hard you try. So, you notice Medellin. You understand the finer details, how some things start to make sense, how now you hear laughs, the way the sun makes you feel good inside. But that's to be expected because this place is known as the City of Eternal Spring. You'll fall in love with the street art, the lively culture, you'll love the powerful sense of friendship you get here. By the time you get back to your Airbnb or wherever you're staying, you'll realize you don't see Medellin as a place you once did.
Something I bet you didn't think you'd say. Hi, coming to Colombia and falling in love with the people, the culture and everything, it made me forget why people are still so fearful of Colombia. And at the same time, I also do remember because it's shows like these that make it that way. I encourage you to come visit Colombia and see the city for yourself and the change and hear the stories and feel what they felt, because it really did change me and hopefully you.